Farmers interested in present-day mechanized agriculture are familiar with the many David Brown developments that have kept them in the forefront of progress. Here we present a revolutionary machine embodying principles never previously applied to agricultural machinery. Most of us have watched with interest the successful application of rear engine mounting to small cars. In this film, we show how the same principle has been applied to a small tractor with startling results. You'll see a revolutionary pneumatic system of implement control which makes every operation simple and, at the same time, provides maximum visibility and accuracy. Seeing is believing, and this film shows how these new principles have been used and proved on 3 different types of farms.
Farming is a complex business in any country. No other industry contains such a variety of working conditions. From large, well-equipped farms like this, hill farms, lowland farms, to small holdings with little, if any, mechanization, and the market gardens. But although farmers have a wide choice of mechanized equipment to cope with every aspect of agricultural practice, you will have noticed that these 3 farms have one thing in common: the David Brown 2D tractor, a machine with a 7-year history of development, testing, and proving. Now, you can be sure that, like all farmers, these 3 men gave the matter careful thought before choosing a tractor. Why then, from all the machines on the market, did they choose the 2D? To find the answer, let's look at the machine. Unconventional? Certainly, but a masterpiece of engineering design, which is probably years ahead of its time. This tractor has everything: center-mounted implements, excellent visibility, fingertip steering, solidly built, yet perfectly balanced, thanks to the curved mainframe and rear-mounted engine. The power unit is a 12-horsepower twin-cylinder diesel engine running at 6 to 1800 RPM. Very accessible, incredibly economical and powerful, and simplicity itself to maintain. And it's air-cooled, too, so there are no winter freeze-up worries. This highly concentrated power is transmitted through a 4-speed gearbox, which is built into the rear axle. And there's a shielded power takeoff in front of the gearbox. See how ready to hand the controls are. Clutch, gear lever, throttle, and with its incredible front wheel lock plus independent foot brakes, the 2D can turn in its own length. These foot brakes can be locked together for road work, and there's also a hand parking brake. And to apply the finishing touch, wheel mark removers are fitted. And here is the most revolutionary feature of all: an airlift mechanism for raising and lowering implements, where for absolute simplicity, the mainframe is used as a compressed air reservoir. The lift levers work independently for one-way plying. And are locked together to lift simultaneously for working with the toolbar assembly. Simplicity is the keynote throughout. No toil, sweat, or tears here in changing either the plough bodies or mower. Just take off the depth control wheels and attach them by means of slip-in pins onto the specially provided brackets at the end of the toolbar. Remove the locking pins, and the implement mounting brackets on both sides are freed from the permanent headstocks. Away comes the toolbar, clear of the tractor. The linkage consists of 2 pillars clamped to the front axle beam, carrying the swivel hitch points. The implement headstocks carry the bottom and top links with the pitch setting here, furrow width is adjustable, and cables connect with the lift levers. There is simple front wheel setting and track rod adjustment. Both front and rear wheel widths are variable in 2-inch steps from 48 to 64 inches. And the tires, admirably suited to row crop work, are nevertheless effective for many of the heavier jobs on the farm. The rear-mounted drawbar has countless uses for conventionally trailed equipment. Now let's go back to our first farm and see why that farmer chose a David Brown 2D.
On this, a large arable farm, already well mechanized, the need was for an extra tractor to relieve the larger machines of the light work and also to expand the everyday mechanized operations. Its versatility was an immediate attraction, for throughout the farming cycle, there are few operations that cannot be tackled efficiently by this tractor. Jobbing work plays a big part in every farming day, and it's common sense to use an economically powered unit instead of the usual 25 or more horsepower. This farmer finds his 2D to be a most suitable tractor for this row, and in addition, he's making a very considerable saving in fuel each year. He can now suit the tractor to the job, and with the 2D, the average fuel consumption over all types of work is as low as 1/4 of a gallon of diesel fuel per hour. This economy is particularly noticeable at harvesting time, where the 2D can mow as fast as the large tractors at a fuel cost of only 6 pence per acre. The forward-mounted 5-foot cutter bar gives all-round visibility and is driven from the front power takeoff shaft, which has a fixed speed in relation to the rear wheels of the tractor. On corners, the airlift raises the cutter bar and enables the operator to carry out right-angle turns. In mowing, this machine is outstanding, and for speed, accuracy, and economy, it has no equal. On many large farms, such as this, considerable row cropping is carried out on peas, beet, carrots, and similar crops, and in this type of work, the 2D rarely comes into its own. With the narrow row widths, production of some crops can be increased by as much as 50%. Additional implements are acquired at a fraction of the cost of standard implements, for this tractor is virtually a mobile toolbar, and the tools are bought as required to suit the work in hand. This means easier maintenance and far less outlay than with the conventional complete and separate assemblies. Moreover, this tractor will pull existing trailed implements and thereby doubles its value. Not only is it a row cropping machine without equal, but is also the ideal general-purpose machine. Here at last is a tractor which combines all the virtues: specialization, versatility, toughness, and maneuverability. No wonder this farmer chose the 2D as his extra tractor.
Back on this farm, we have a very different set of conditions. Here is a small holding which previously had no power-drawn equipment, but where the farmer realized he must mechanize to keep up with the rising standards of agriculture and to increase his own production. Decisions on the choice of equipment are not taken lightly. A wide variety of jobs would have to be tackled by any machine purchased for this farm, and the running costs would have to be low. There's always much discussion at these times, and many opinions offered. But the main question was, what had the 2D to offer? Again, its wide versatility. Of great importance in this case, where only the one tractor would be available, and where practically every farming job would have to be tackled. The advantages of one-way plying with its speedier working. No time wasted setting out and finishing off. Ridges and open furrows are eliminated, producing flatter fields and better seed beds. Enough power to plough a 7-inch furrow 12 inches wide, even in steep fields. With the mid-mounted implements, field corners are ploughed out to the limits, and the headlands are cut to a minimum with the tight turning circle and the quick response of the air-like lift. The rear engine mounting puts the maximum weight on the wheels and delivers every ounce of available power. Every possible square yard worked, a strong point on the small farm. The range of implements available covers all the necessary jobs on this small farm. C-spring cultivators, which are ideal for general cultivation, are just right for this man. But for those working heavier land, these C-springs can be changed for rigid tines which fix to the same toolbar. Another outstanding advantage of this tractor is the ability to do jobs on the farm without the need to remove the tools. On a small farm, there's always a lot of jobbing work to be done with little labor, and this feature saves a great deal of time and trouble. Haulage is quickly solved with this 30 weight trailer, which has 3 dropping sides and can be easily attached or detached from the rear drawbar. Compare this with the usual business of unhitching the cultivator, fixing the trailer, and afterwards having to come back for the implements. With the 2D, the wasted effort is cut to a minimum and the tractor is back on the job in the shortest possible time. A very big point was that many of his previously horse-drawn implements could be easily adapted for use with this, his first tractor. Whilst the horse-drawn ridger, working one row at a time, had proved adequate in the past, very little capital outlay for this set of 3 ridger bodies has proved a time and labor-saving investment on the small acreage to be worked. Perhaps the most compelling thought was the low cost. For this tractor, with all the necessary tools, meant far less capital outlay than for a standard tractor with a complement of individual implements. For the 2D is part of the implement, and only the tools themselves are